got to play the new HoI4 DLC Thunder at Our Gates in early access, and Paradox tasked me personally to ruin the world order with the new communist Australia focus tree. And ruin it I did! The DLC releases today and added one of my favorite features in a while, Army HQs. This allows you to deploy your generals on a map and immediately lose them because you forgot to protect them properly. I have to commend Paradox for inventing climate change just so I could feel the same way that these little Aussie boys felt when they invaded the Japanese home islands in 1944. Since I'm already this sweaty, I might as well play Australia, because then I can show you that New Zealand has a new focus tree. Ooh! It's still the same old tree over here, but you can think big. The Dutch, of course, did get a small rework. That is not the Dutch. That is the Dutch. Here they have a shared focus tree. They can form the Netherlands-Indonesia Union, which you can also do as Indonesia. That's kind of cool. And the Allies got their little Abdacom tree over here, which is just a Pacific Theater tree. And of course, we also got the little Siam tree. But we are not interested in that. We are interested in the Australia tree with Joseph Lyons. Joseph Leon... You're gonna be shot anyway, I don't really care about you. As for Australia, we can also bother about elections, but that just sounds like such a headache, so we are gonna go against war and fascism. The Allies definitely have to focus on a preemptive strike on fascist countries. I decree that this is of utmost importance, and the Allies need to worry, we need to worry about this. We have to work together against the fascists. Nothing to worry about, there's nothing to worry about here. And we will immediately take it to the streets and fire a couple of strikes at... Nah, damn it, the British do care a little bit. But first, we shall do a controversial recruitment. And meanwhile, we shall organize a strike. And now that we have organized a strike, we can do one of these focuses over here. We have to complete all of them to do all for one, one for all. We can also wait and do them for free if we are communist, but this turns out nicely with what I've planned. Merlin, I have to work. You can't be pissy right now. Yep, that... No, Merlin. Do not embarrass me in front of the viewers. Be cute over there. We shall then hire the controversial recruitment, because he gives us minus 50% PP advisor cost. And then, of course, we will also get the Orthodox Stalinist. We could get Dixon, but I'm gonna get Dorothy, because I'm not a sexist. That is the only reason, and not because she is very qualified with 7.5% research speed. No, because I'm not a sexist. And then we can also flip to free trade and get the white man. And meanwhile, we have to make use of all of the allied tech research sharing that we can get. Next, we shall work on world peace. It is a bit strange that we can send volunteers, but I guess that causes world peace in some way. I will also get one steal from the Soviet Union. My dearest friend. Don't worry about it. Next, we're gonna ratify the Westminster Adoption Act. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna help you once. If a world war kicks off, I'm definitely gonna help you by taking all of your colonies. And now it is time to do all for one, one for all, which finally we'll get rid of our strike problem, because then we can just flip to communism. And with that, the Communist Party of Australia is in power. We can ask for Singapore, but realistically, what do I want Singapore for? One thing that we will need to do is bank PP, because if Paradox knows one thing about communist nations, they need a lot of political power, and they're making sure that you feel it every single time you play one. I initially wanted this game to end a little bit earlier, but I think I'm just gonna mess a little bit with Chamberlain. And that starts with putting out a couple of horse cavalries. A couple. This is not great. Expeditionary warfare does not give you anything. We get like one more volunteer. For once, I'm not gonna go for the logical thing. I'm gonna go for the RP. Paradox, please just make expeditionary warfare a little bit better. You get nothing here. Compare that to the 20% max planning from Grand Assault, plus the 10% breakthrough and 5% soft attack immediately. Would you be interested in an attaché? Surely not. 700 recruitable men each month, plus the 1.1k manpower. Australia will be unstoppable once I'm done with it. This is gonna be like the Liechtenstein War. We're gonna go to war and we'll have more men afterwards. I don't think Chamberlain is gonna be very happy with what I'm doing right now, though. I'm just playing all sides, while also just fighting for my own side. We're gonna have to leave the Allies in a minute. It's been real. I've had my fun. But don't worry, Churchill. I'm gonna come back for you. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use that armored division. I'm gonna make my own one. And now, very cool, you can also shift click. Ooh! it does save you about 1 brain cell every time you make a new template. The war in Europe is progressing nicely, and it is time to do the very aptly named focus and part of colonizer, because he just called me 2 times into the war, and that's just too much, Churchill, man. Just get the memo, come on. Now that we're on our own, we can regret losing all of the tech sharing, but I think I've used it quite well. I'm not even messing with the allies, and they're losing in North Africa. Form the Commonwealth. We're gonna lose the Solomon Islands and the Melanesian Federation, which does mean we have to reload for some RNG manipulation, and not because I'm an idiot. As I said, we are gonna release the Solomon Islands and the Melanesian Federation. Then I'm gonna set the joint command structure. We're gonna deploy 100 horses, and then we can immediately get joint research. Now it's time for some fun. Well, as soon as I can afford creating divisions, that is. I'm just gonna let the horses graze a little bit across Australia. We're gonna get borderless solidarity, which gives us 1 more operative slot. I don't think that matters to me. Oh, very important. I'm also gonna send an attaché to the Soviet Union. Although granted, we can also just join their faction immediately. The only downside is, by bypassing this focus, we're not gonna become a major. It shouldn't be an issue.
Hi, Vijo here. Did you know that foreshadowing is a narrative device?
Very important. We need for the greater good now, which gives us another 4 volunteer divisions. Japan has started going in on Malaya, Indonesia, the US, which also means, there we go, the Philippines are also in. I think at this point it is time to infiltrate a couple of trade unions. Our gameplay at this point is rather interesting. We can incite civil wars in a couple of countries in Southeast Asia, and once they won, they will become a puppet of ours. But unless you give them a majority of communist support, they usually won't win on their own, so you need to send volunteers. But Australia also has a huge non-core penalty for the divisions, which I personally would prefer if it wasn't there, but if you don't mind longer campaigns, it's fine. I'm just gonna get Leslie Morset because he has a very interesting mustache. I find that one very attractive in-game. And then I'm also gonna get Kenneth Ether because he actually has a very attractive mustache. I wish I could grow a mustache. At this point, I'm almost ready to finally start playing the game, but there is but one thing that I still want to do, which is get rid of the citizen army. Minus 25% division attack on non-core territory does not sound like a great idea for an offensive game. I'm gonna start the revolution in British Malaya. That will give the allies 1 less front to worry about. I'm helping the allies with this. This is the only reason, and not because I want the riches of Malaya for myself. Oh, no! This is something that sometimes happens. Most of the time, you don't get anything on the mainland of Malaya. In a couple of weeks, we'll get a raid on Malaya, so we can land on the mainland. There we go. Now we get raid decisions, and we do have enough range. So I might actually... yeah, there we go. I might as well do it. A 75% chance sounds good enough for me. And that way I also earned Malaya by doing something for it. Japan actually invaded Malaya, which should cancel our raid? I guess it did. Why is it still here? Or was it me? That was probably me. I invaded there. We have a very large chunk in the Philippines. I'm gonna send some volunteers immediately. We can send 10. Now, I don't really have anything to send. That is the only downside here. So I'm just gonna send these 10 very qualified divisions. I'm not ready yet. Which is ridiculous to say in 1942. Buddy, I don't think that's a boomerang. That is our first little expansion that we did. The operation has ended in catastrophe. Our troops never made it ashore. They were turned back by loyalist patrols. Those were not loyalist patrols! Time for a revolution in Indonesia. And time for you to get over here again. Don't like this front at all. It's just a bummer that I'm sending my tanks into Indonesia. I don't think they're gonna be very effective over there. My volunteers never arrived there, but it was enough, I guess. Admittedly, I did boost quite a bit here. Malaya is holding off the Japanese invasion quite magnificently, and the Soviets are as competent as ever. I'm gonna help the Japanese a little bit. We gotta get Burma under the fold. Please just let me use one of the volunteers. I wasted a doctrine on it. I spent so long. I thought once I have Tier 3 of the infantry doctrine just from attachés. At least let me fight a little bit in Burma without supply. That is a very bold revolutionary. rising up over there all alone. Sure, British Burma, give me tungsten, why don't you? Finally, some action. Okay, we have a problem. Fuel does not exist in Australia, apparently. I fixed the problem. No, I lost my trade with British Burma. I can't believe you would do this to me. If I think about this, I can actually believe that you would do this to me. Finally, we're gonna get rid of the debuffs. And then my tanks will actually be able to do nothing because they're still out of supply. But my mountaineers will be able to do something. And that is it. That leaves New Zealand and Malaya. But Malaya should fall now. The only thing that Japan has to worry about at this point is just the front up here. Am I really that dumb? I can just send volunteers to... I'm a genius. I can just send volunteers to you. No, I can't. I'm never gonna get these volunteers back. I hope you like your new Australian-speaking friends. Meanwhile, in Stalin's bunker, how many volunteers could I send to you? None. Right. I forgot. Come on! Why are you having so much trouble with this? Stalin, I think it is time for me to consider helping you a little bit, but... first, I need this guy to be trained, and I think I'm gonna wait for these couple of units as well. It's just a bummer because I didn't really focus on planes this game. I was busy with building tanks that I used for nothing. I do have the tech, I just don't have the industry right now. While Malaya is stalling. Oh, they're stalling in the opposite direction. In a jiffy, we'll have 15% attack on non-core territory. Fine, I'm gonna join you in the German-Soviet war. And I will also deploy you with my army HQ, because that's the only guy that I will have to worry about. I thought my infantry was a little bit quicker than this. I would just get my tanks encircled if I pushed like that. Plus, supply is not great. There's a German commander, and he's moving over here. Okay, guys, be chill. If we take him out... Yes, we got Burma! We got Burma! That is a setback for the Germans. Oh, another German commander. A second German commander has hit our prison. Oh, I'm just gonna take him. If he lines up next to my tank, I'm just going to take him. There we go. Manteuffel is out as well. Burma 10 attack. And now he will be 10 attack in my prison. He can attack my food, but it won't matter. I'm not gonna give anything to him. Please. Why are you losing Malaya? I've already killed 410,000 Germans with this one offensive. You're gonna get a medal after this. Unless you end up in a German prison. Oh, I can't send volunteers while at war. I need to make China stronger. I mean, weaker. I guess there's one way to make them weaker. Stalin, you do remember that Guernsey is rightful Australian claim, right? You do remember that, right? You do, right? I should probably push into the south, because Stalingrad is relatively close, and, well, Stalin is not looking too good right now. But also, over here I could get a large encirclement. Let's go. I microed long enough in this game. I fought one battle. Effectively, that is far more hard fought than any human should ever endure. Oh, screw you, Stalin. I actually don't really want to push up here. It's gonna take a long while before we get a supply hub. And my units are already struggling over here. I was greedy for 35 days. If I didn't do that, I would now be a major. Honestly, I'm just gonna rush for Vologda. I'm gonna make sure that the rest of my units defend them. Oh, we're so close. I'm gonna send my tanks out. If they can ever make it out. This is getting very dangerous right now. Wait. Hitler, we can't talk about this, you know? Bro, can you not move through the enemy territory, please? I was not worried for a single second that even one of our men would die. On an unrelated note, I think I'm gonna change my pants in a second. Let's see if we can make an offensive without the tanks. I don't think they would be very much use over here. Nobody's in Stalingrad? We are in Stalingrad? Please just stay there. Don't move out again. But that's so many railways I have to lay. Okay, there we go. I set it up. If I can now also push into Azkaban, we will get this supply hub as well. We still have a Crimea pocket. We could try and link up with that one. Or push into the north. I'm gonna push into the north. The allies need to be occupied with as many fronts as they can be. What a beauty. We actually got 2 supply hubs. And the next one is in Penza and then Gorky. So I'm just gonna continue the push. and hopefully find 1 or 2 more German commanders. Sorry, Küchler, I didn't see you there. Yeah, I was about to say they're getting a little bit lonely over there, but I mean, they're free people now, so they can take turns with dropping the soap. And I'm just gonna hope the Soviets can hold out a little bit longer, and I'm not spreading them too thin here. Can you please hold the supply hub? I knew it was gonna happen. I'm gonna get the infantry out. I don't like this. And then I'm gonna keep 1 mountaineer on the supply hub. Stalin! I need you to be a little bit competent for 1 second. We just lost a supply hub up in the north because of him. We just can't afford to get more units over here, you know? Like, I only have 370 units at my command. I can't afford more than those 26 that I have here right now. Just a small one, something like this. That's already a smidge of pressure gone. Genuinely, my tanks are so useless. Japan is going in it. No, not against us. I'm not the ass. That is the ass. Where's my commander? Is he safe? He is safe. He's alright. It's just we're so close. We're so close to the supply up again. They want the Soviets. That's not what I need. I might die. I think I would survive if the Soviets cap now, because I'm not in the war against Japan. Okay, with the supply hub, we just have to hold it a little bit longer. If I wasn't an idiot, this wouldn't have happened. Wait, no. No! The Japanese! It wasn't my mistake, it was the Japanese. I can't get supply in the Soviet Union anymore. I can build a port here, but I would have to lay a whole Trans-Siberian railway in order to get supplied again. I can push from archangels. We gotta bust out. I have to save the Soviet Union from behind. Guys, can you please just leave? Yes, get going. Indeed. They want to get encircled. Yep, the Soviets just died. It encircled a tank, 2 mountaineers. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. This does make me wonder, what is my plan now, though? There's not really any point in pushing into Germany. Churchill, I might have done an oopsie. I tripped all over the floor. This whole communism thing was probably a bad idea. Tojo, help has finally arrived. You're not Tojo. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your name. I'm just gonna offend somebody. Xiao Hongshu is just gonna cancel me if I attempt that. Soon I'll be able to field a couple of mountaineers. We just split up China. And we might actually be able to just take Chongqing. Is that enough? No? China still wants more. Oh, 5-star rarity general. Nice. Probably 2 more VPs that we have to take, and then it's over. We did get a decent amount of points as well. Not that this matters, because Japan has all of China at this point. There we go. I'm gonna try and get this. Please. Oh, my units are stuck. Ether, I'm sorry you're stuck. I think we have to go through Tibet. Why did you declare war on Australian Churchill, I puked all over the floor again. I can't believe that the Japanese would backstab me. Alright, Ether, that's gonna be a little bit complicated for you now. I can't defend all of Australian China. We're gonna have to hope that he can either make it to Hanoi, and then he can get evacuated, or we can link up with Burma. Unless Japan declares war on Yunnan, which they can't do right now. November. Okay, I mean, that's also an option. Hold out until November so that Japan declares war on Yunnan, and then we can flee through Yunnan. But I think I'm just gonna send a rescue battalion like that. We're gonna get you out of there, Ether. You have, now that I think about this, not really done a whole lot useful stuff in these wars, but you're my one general that I have in the field, so I'm gonna open the Pilbara region to mining, which gives us for 250 PP infinite steel. Oh, if I keep on pressing this button, it's not gonna be great. It's very expensive, but it is infinite steel, technically. We have to hold this. Never mind. Okay, I'm gonna set up a defensive line similar to this, though. I just want a pocket in the middle, but then I'm just gonna try and hold out with Ether. Put him in the middle. Hisaichi Terauchi, you can join your German friends. South African volunteers have arrived. Here is Yunnan, and I'm immediately gonna send my reinforcements. Oh, come on. Bye! Another commander gone. And another one is out. Not even interested in taking tiles. I'm just interested in taking commanders. I'm just getting Thai commanders. I guess that's still good. Though I don't think you still have that much fight left in you. How did you lose Burma! Allies! Why is my Philippines in Vladivostok? Churchill! We are fighting together in China right now. Just because I took a couple of your dominions, you don't have to justify on me. Half of the Allied command is just encircled in Australian China right now. No! The Allies are just inching me. We're so close. Like, look at this. We are right on the doorstep of another supply hub. And instead, the Allies have 8 divisions over here and no one defending Chongqing. If you just want Japan to have Chongqing, just say it, man. But don't pretend to defend it. Gandhi, I appreciate it. But I don't think it's the right time to worry about the two-nation theory right now. Unless you mean India and Thailand. Then sure, keep on bothering with it. I hate it, but I'm gonna start assigning medals. 50 million allies! Germany's manpower is just jumping around. They were at 0, 900k, 300k, and they're back to 0 within a week. I think it is time for plan D at this point, and we'll have to try and get a couple of people into the Allies. Can anybody tell me why we're stacking 47 divisions over here and nobody, once again, is on the rest of the front line? I've built so many new airports and nobody is using them. Yippee! Encirclements. The war's been going well for you. Like, it's stalled a little bit and you're out of men, but looking at how much damage you dealt to the Allies, I don't think Hitler could be disappointed in himself in this timeline. Not saying that I'm sad that he shot himself, but surprised. I'm surprised is all. The worst thing is we are relying on Australian Chinese divisions. These are the only ones that can reinforce and put more troops on the front. Germany right now is still weaker because they don't have Böhme, because of my push into the Soviet Union. So this was the only reason why I joined the Comintern, to get Böhme. I've waited long enough for you to do something. I'm gonna take this into my own hands now to get a couple of Chinese into the field. My little Bulgarian present has arrived. Shame that you have to join the Allies. You're gonna join the Allies, right? I'll just hope that I don't screw Turkey over here by sending so many Axis troops over here suddenly. I'm gonna hope the Allies hold this up here. They have so many troops. Like, nope, Japan is pushing. Japan is going in there. Why? I should have just left one division there. There is a chance that the Allies will then send reinforcements in here, or nothing will happen because they've already lost India. They're still holding on in Malaya, the one location that I actually need them to fail at. Or all of the Allies are just gonna leave. That's also something that could happen. Once again, that is my fault. I should have just expected them to abandon me the moment they get the chance to. Churchill? Yeah, sure. I was dealing with the well-being of our men, but hey, striking at the source is also an option. Bulgaria is still just holding on. I was just looking at Europe for a little while and was an auto push, but looks like the little Guangzhou push was worth it. The only thing I don't like is Ether is very unprotected right now. Next to this pocket that we almost cleared up. Booting Japan out of China is always just so satisfying once you broke them, because then you just have to clean up pocket and pocket and pocket. I can do a rational request. It's about time I get something for winning the war. Brazil has landed in North Germany, okay. It is over. My Bulgaria plot has won the war, and soon Romania will also join. I kinda expected to see more than the Socialist Republic of Banat. Sadly, it didn't capture that many commanders. 2,000 points. Ideally, the Allies give me China. I might have scammed the Allies out of a whole lot of land. Yeah. We got Japan. We got all of China. We got Thailand. I guess they released the Republic of Laos. I didn't see that one, so the Allies did get something out of this little kerfuffle. So, can you please give me Malaya and Singapore? Okay, they did transfer Singapore. Kenneth, we're now on a first name basis. Please end the war. It is 3 AM on a weekday. I have to go to work tomorrow. Romania has killed 2 Australians. America, why are you sending a lot of Americans to West Australia? Do you have something Don't worry about that one. Do you have something planned? We gotta end the war quickly. I don't want to turn into an American colony. That would be a very dark timeline if that ever happened to Australia. Another commander off. Right, I lost all of my Japanese commanders. That's the only thing I dislike about it. Once the war ends, you have to release these guys. It is a bit sad that the Allies have stalled here for 4 years. I arrive, start one random push, capture of 3 commanders, get a random encirclement that I actually didn't even want. Plus, we encircled all of the German French divisions. Not Vichy French, they are German French. No, that's not my India. I'm gonna have to create a 4th India. I was causing a little bit too much communism too quickly. There goes the Kingdom of Denmark. I think we're gonna have a 3rd Denmark in a second. And we have a very large egg. I mean, Hungary. Another German pocket. What the? We have 3,000 points? I specifically puppeted Germany. That's what I sacrificed. Why is Germany up here? Bit surprising that you survived. Smell you later, Churchill. Thank you. It's been fun. Good times were had by all. It is finally time to form the Comintern Look at this beauty. If only I had Bernard now. Way to rub it in. One more plan up my sleeve. Onwards to Belfast. Ireland is down to tally a little bit with the British. Why was it harder to infiltrate Romania than the US? That was not my doing. I hope you're ready for a 3rd American Civil War. But you know what? No hard feelings, right? No hard feelings at all, I'm sure. Damn it. That is not what I wanted. It's going down. No, everything's going wrong. This was not the plan. I never meant for any of this to happen this way. Kenneth, you might have survived China. I'm not sure you will be able to survive this. Oh, please get away from the front line. This is supposed to fire a civil war in the UK. I guess not. Not like that. I guess you have strategic reasons to be hostile to me. Come on. Are you still salty about those volunteers? Is that my Spanish Civil War that I created? Well, that's just sad. Why do you have recovering from Civil War? This is La Resistance. They will be recovering from Civil War until the end of time. Come on. France has 52% communist support. And the French Commune spawns in Calais. What have I done? Look at this. We're getting closer to the World Revolution, though. I guess that is the promised Liverpool Civil War. I just had to stage a coup. The workers truly rose up. The 4 workers in Germany. Everyone else is dead by this point. Please, let's just end this game. I have to get up in like 3 hours. Well, well, well. Look who it is. Bit of a bummer that I can't send him to Stalin. POV, it's 6 AM and you're battle planning throughout Switzerland. All I want is this one dumb joke. This was not worth it. And if you want to see Vijo conquer the world as Australia, you can watch this video where he suffered a lot.